Hello world, this is Vinnie Rodriguez, also known as 8 Figure Vision. I'm here to share with you the next in our vast book series. Yes, that's correct. The next is The Conversion Code by Chris Smith. This book took me by surprise. This book right here, loaded with nuggets here, ladies and gentlemen. Just every single page is full of content, and it is so relevant to today that I highly suggest every single person have this book in their back pocket. Look, as you can see, it's not that many pages, but there's just so much in here. You need to know, whether you own a business, whether you're an employee, wherever you come from, you need to have this book, and here's why. This book talks about, by the way, this book is written by Chris Smith, who would work for 2 billionaires. One that was almost publicly traded, and then another one that was a startup that was acquired for over $108 million. So this guy, he's also speaks at many events, talks to over 50,000 people a year. I mean, this guy is the real deal, Chris Smith. So the conversion code. Why is this book so relevant to today? In this book, he goes over how do you create the perfect blog post, right? How do you actually use Facebook as a way so that you can really start gaining the type of attention that you would like in your business or for your project that you're working on or whatever it may be, you know, to grow your network. How do you set up more appointments, right? He goes into what type of questions do you ask? What type of content do you put out, right? All of these things that are just so important, because almost like a third of the entire planet is on Facebook today, right? Social media and the internet are becoming synonymous, right? It's almost a new form of the main form of communication by most of us nowadays. People's attention span is less than 3 seconds. Is less than the attention span of a goldfish. So how do you keep people engaged and involved, especially if you have a business or a product or something that you're promoting, or that you would like more people's eyes on, more people's ears on, right? That you like more people's attention on. Well, this book goes over it, and it's very technical. So it's not just this rah rah rah, like, you know, wishing to the stars. This book is gonna go over very specific steps in how do you become a master at your craft and use social media to your advantage. Use the funnels that you have, right? The lead pages. How do you maximize those tools for those of you that have it? So we really get to start to dig deep on many concepts, such as, you know, how do you close more sales, right? How do you do it? This is probably the most attractive part to me, because he has a really, really great system that he calls the 2-step pre-call and stalk. Then that is followed up by the ARP system, which is acknowledge, respond, and pivot. So he says that most sales are already closed before the call even happens, right? But largely you have to just pick up the phone, right? If you have someone that saw some of your information or content on social media, right, the idea is to convert them as quickly as possible, because they saw your content, they're already sold, right? They may have liked your post or shared it or commented or something on it. So that's them saying, hey, I'm bought on your product. I'm sold on your product. I like what I saw. Now it's a matter of you going in and actually doing the diligent work that is going to convert them. Right? Now it's actually continuing with that energy and saying, all right, well, what is it? What is their true need? And how do I cater towards that, right? How do you perfect your pitch? You see, there's important things to go over. So he talks about having your pitch down straight, right? To have that, you need to have specific data points. You need to know about your customer before you even get on the phone with them. You can't go into it blindly, right? Most salespeople know it's actually pretty basic for any of you that are in sales. You got to have data on your customer, You got to have data on your customer or your prospect, and always stay informed in what it is that they're specifically looking for. So if you have data on them, you know where they live, you know maybe an achievement or accomplishment that they recently had or something like that, you have ammo now that you can use to gear up towards your customer for when they're on the call. You already know about them. You tell them what you know about them. That way you clear some of that air. You don't have to go in a small talk, right? Time is money here. So you can eliminate the small talk just by acknowledging that you know about them, using the data that you found about them, right? Then once you have established that, you know, you're including that in your pitch, right? You saying your name and you immediately go into talking about them, right? Don't be interesting. Oh, I work for this company. We do all of these great things. And no, go into, hey, I work for this company. I work for company ABC. I noticed that you have recently looked at apartments in this place. Or I noticed that your sales in your company, that recently you hired so many staff, whatever it may be. And then what he said, which I really like, I've seen other versions of this, but I just really like the way he approached it. You know, how do you gain control? You have to have control over the call at all times, right? So then he says, after you acknowledge them, then you go into, I need you to please grab a pen and paper so that I can give you some information that isn't available online. Let me know when you're ready. Those people that actually go and get the pen and paper, those are your prospects, right? Because they agree, they actually have a little bit of trust in you that what you're about to tell them is something valid and something important, right? Those are the ones that are going to be willing to listen to you so that you can share with them very important information. Then, what are they going to write? You just give them your name, right? And your phone number and your email address. That's the first thing they should know about you, right? How many times have you gotten on the phone call with someone and later on you scrambling trying to find their number? It's because you never discussed that on the call. That's the first thing they should know about you, is how to actually find you. So, very important. And of course, the ARP system, he goes over it in here. I suggest that you all get the book. But definitely a lot in here if you really want to start improving your results in social media. I give this book an 8 out of 8. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vinnie Rodriguez, also known as 8-Figure Vision, bringing to you today's entry, The Conversion Code by Chris Smith. And you know, as always, I'll be here in the next of our series. And until then, peace and prosperity.